1,453 clues have come and gone, but 26 new ones are headed your way as part of this 54th episode of Disney 100 Jeopardy. Welcome in. As always, I am your host, Bryan Perri, and thank you so much for joining me. Let's jump into the rules real quick, as we always do. You know what I'm going to say. If you want to cheat, go right ahead. I won't tell anyone because I won't know you're doing so be my guest. In last week's episode 53, the Final Jeopardy category was Disney Rails, which is all about trains that have appeared in different Disney and Pixar movies. That, of course, will lead the way as we take a look at the board to see what else you'll be quizzed on in this episode 54. There she is, Disney Rails. We'll kick things off. Second category, Pixar Sandwiches. I'm going to give you two different Pixar films, and then you'll have to let me know which Pixar movie was released in between those two films. The third category, highly requested for a while now, it is Newsies. And the fourth category you'll be quizzed on, promises you don't intend to keep. All right, little backstory for this one. Shout out to Disneyland Study Buddy who came up with the suggestion last week. That's because last week, as you see in the comment, I did a flowers and chocolate category, and if you don't get what flowers and chocolate have to do with promises you don't intend to keep, here's a quick history lesson courtesy of Beauty and the Beast.
I want to do something for her. But what?
Well, there's the usual things: flowers, chocolates, promises you don't intend to keep.
A really great suggestion from the comment section. Okay, and the fifth and final category you'll be quizzed on, another suggestion: crowns and tiaras. I will show you a crown or tiara that appeared in a Disney film, and you'll have to identify who it belonged to. Okay, it is time for the easiest round of the game, the cupcake round. Each of these clues worth just 200 points each. We take a look at the board and kick things off with Disney Rails. Seen here is the famous Casey Jr. chugging along the track. Name the feature-length film he's from. The correct answer is Dumbo. On to Pixar Sandwiches. First clue. Before the turn of the millennium, Pixar released 3 different films. Toy Story in 1995, Toy Story 2 in 1999, and this film in 1998, sandwiched between them. The correct answer is A Bug's Life.
And action.
To infinity and beyond! I'm sorry. I couldn't resist. Really, can you blame me?
Let's seize the day and move on to Newsies now for 200. The actor who played Jack Kelly in the 1992 film. He would go on to become the Dark Knight. The correct answer is Christian Bale.
I mean, there's nothing for me to stay for, is there?
We're on to our theme park category. It is promises you don't intend to keep. Seen here is a theater that at 2017's D23 Disney promised was coming our way. Remind me, which theme park was supposed to get this theater? The correct answer is the most popular and most attended theme park in the entire world, that being the Magic Kingdom. And it really is upsetting that Disney promised us this theater and never came through with it, because when you think about it, how does the most popular park in the entire world not have a proper theater to host Broadway-style shows? It makes no sense. This would have been perfect. It would have sat on the right side of Main Street, and yeah, really upsetting that it never came to be. Okay, let's move on to the final clue of the cupcake round. It brings us to tiaras and crowns. This one looks familiar. Can you name whose it is? The correct answer is the one and only Rapunzel.
I'll give you a hint. That's Rapunzel.
And that will do it for the cupcake round. Hopefully you went 5 for 5, banked 1,000 points under your belt, but if not, fear not, because here comes the second round, and each of these clues are worth twice as much. Go back across the board. Here comes Disney Rails for 4. All aboard this train, which can be spotted in the beginning of which movie? The correct answer is Toy Story 3.
No.
Glad I could catch the train!
On to Pixar Sandwiches now for 4. Elemental and Turning Red are 2 of Pixar's more recent films. This movie came out in between them in the summer of 2022. The correct answer is Lightyear.
Just come on, we're sitting ducks here. Allow me.
Here comes Newsies' second clue. Spot Conlon hails from this New York City borough. Shout out to my roots, I had to include it in here somehow. The correct answer is Brooklyn, New York. We're on to another broken promise for 4. When riding the People Mover at the Magic Kingdom, guests roll by a portion of a large model metropolis that was inspired by Walt Disney's original plans for Epcot. The model goes by this name. The correct answer is Progress City. Now again, that is just a portion of the original Progress City model that spanned 6,900 feet. Guests used to be able to see the entire model after riding the Carousel of Progress over in Disneyland, so it goes back quite some time. But yeah, Progress City and the actual city of Epcot turned out to be a promise that never came to be, unfortunately. On to your second crown of the day. Ooh, this is a pretty one. Who does it belong to? The correct answer is Queen Anna.
Queen Anna of Arendelle.
There you go, 10 clues down, 16 remain as we boost the difficulty just a tad. And we start off with Disney Rails now for 6. Ooh, there's an intense train crash. What film is it from? If you know me well, you know it's my favorite Disney film of all time. The correct answer is Zootopia.
I think this is our stop.
We're on to our third Pixar sandwich. Pixar's first 4 films in the 2000s were so successful that they led to eventual sequels or prequels, with Monsters, Inc. leading the way in 2001 and Cars providing the other piece of bread to this sandwich in 2006. Name the 2 Pixar movies released in between them. The correct answer is Finding Nemo and The Incredibles. On to Newsies' third clue. The year the movie takes place. Correct answer is 1899. Here comes another promise. Check out this concept art. It is pretty cool, and it depicts a pavilion that was supposed to come to Epcot. Unfortunately, it never did. What country does this represent? The correct answer is Russia. Now get this, back in 1992, a promotional video was actually filmed showcasing Imagineers building a model and plans for the Russian pavilion at Epcot and in World Showcase. Again, it never came to be, which is pretty upsetting. We move on to the final clue of the 600-point round. It once again brings us to crowns and tiaras. Look at this 2-dimensional crown. Any idea whose it is? The correct answer is Ariel's father, King Triton.
Dear Sebastian, I'm concerned about Ariel. Have you noticed she's been acting peculiar lately?
3 rounds are down, 2 remain, and then there's Final Jeopardy. So buckle up because this is when it starts getting tough. The 800-point round begins with Disney Rails. Blink and you'll miss it, but that elevated train was part of this movie. The correct answer is Soul. Here comes your 4th Pixar sandwich. Cars 3 and Incredibles 2 were released exactly 365 days apart in 2017 and 2018. This Pixar movie came out in between them in the fall of 2017. The correct answer is Coco.
Almost there. Just a little further.
Here comes Newsies for 800. The first line of Seize the Day. The correct answer is Open the Gates and Seize the Day.
Open the gates and seize the day.
Here comes another broken promise. Let's see what it is. Seen here is a concept art that was supposed to come to Epcot in place of the old Wonders of Life pavilion. Remind me, what was this going to be called again? Correct answer is the Play Pavilion. We're on to the final clue of the 800-point round. Let's check it out. Ah, that's a fancy crown. Whose head did it sit on? The correct answer is Prince John from Robin Hood.
Good news, sir. Friar Tuck is in jail. Friar Tuck? It's Robin Hood I want, you idiot!
20 clues are down, 6 remain, including Final Jeopardy. But before we get there, you know what time it is. It is time for the most overly dramatic, soundtrack-infused, unnecessarily spotlighted part of the game. The 1,000-point round. Hit it. All right, folks, it is the most difficult part of your entire day. Might I say, I actually don't know. It's definitely the most difficult part of your last 10 minutes or so. It is the 1,000-point round, edition number 54, and it begins with Disney Rails. There's your train. What's it from? The correct answer is The Incredibles. We're on to our final Pixar sandwich. Released in consecutive summers, Inside Out and Finding Dory sandwich this film that released in theaters on Thanksgiving weekend. The correct answer is The Good Dinosaur.
How'd you get your scar?
I don't know if you're ready for that story.
I can take it.
Oh, yeah, you gotta tell him, Bob.
That's a good one.
Here comes your final clue from Newsies. Following its 1992 release, it took Newsies this many years to become a Broadway show. So Newsies became a show in 2011, but that was over in Jersey. By the time it made it to Broadway, it was 2012. The correct answer is, what is 20 years? We only have 2 clues left on the board before Final Jeopardy. Here comes a promise you don't intend to keep. Here's some concept art for Animal Kingdom's Dino Land before the park opened in 1998. In the distance, you can see a wooden roller coaster, and here's another image of it. What was this coaster going to be called? The correct answer is the Excavator. And I'll be honest, that coaster looks awesome. Primeval Whirl, on the other hand, was not, and that's part of the reason why it no longer exists. Okay, here comes the final clue of the game before Final Jeopardy. let's show you one more tiara or crown. And there it is. Can you name whose crown this is? The correct answer is the greatest prince of all time, Prince Naveen. Yeah, that was Naveen's crown from his Maldonia days. Okay, 25 clues down, one remains, and it happens to be the one clue that will ultimately determine how proud of yourself you will be for the next 6 days. Not 7, 6 days. Why is that? Well, that's because we've got some big news, folks. This episode right now is the final Disney 100 Jeopardy episode to air for the first time on Saturday. That's because I'm shifting the show to Friday nights beginning in 6 days. So if you want to continue watching on Saturday, that's completely fine. But if you want to join in on the live fun and the live chat and all that, you'll have to tune in at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Friday nights from here on out. But okay, enough of that. It's time to settle this game once and for all. Here comes Final Jeopardy. Let's see the category. If you smell what The Rock is cooking. Yep, that's right. Dwayne The Rock Johnson is your Final Jeopardy category. He's obviously had a storied career, but he's also had a very storied Disney career. So next week you'll be quizzed on The Rock, and you'll also be quizzed on The Rock right now. So make your wagers on your Disney knowledge, the one and only People's Champ. Okay, time is up. Let's check out the final clue of the game, all about Dwayne Johnson. Before introducing us to Maui, The Rock appeared in this 2007 film where he played the character of Joe Kingman. Good luck. Time is up. Joe Kingman, starting quarterback for a fake football team based in Boston. The correct answer is The Game Plan.
But who's about to go fishing? They are! Who's about to hit the links? They are! Who's gonna win the championship? They are!
We are?
We are!
And that will do it for this episode of Disney 100 Jeopardy. You know the deal. If you like what you saw, be sure to subscribe. Click that bell icon. Hello, bell. This way, you're notified every time we come out with brand new content. One last reminder, Disney 100 Jeopardy shifts to Friday nights beginning in just a few days. February 23rd, 8 p.m. Eastern. You'll know where to find me. You can continue watching whenever you want, honestly. Saturdays, Sundays, whatever random day of the week. But if you want to watch it live, 8 p.m. Eastern on Friday nights, you know where I will be. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in just a few days. Until then.
Bye-bye.